there's nothing that beats in person. Nothing. The experience you could create even with 5 people, if you have following and you have 5 people to sign up for your event and you create you have it at your house. I have clients that literally have it at their house and sell into their masterminds at $25,000 a person. And guess what happens? Their clients don't go anywhere.
Yep.
So you're creating a lifelong client. And I think that's what the takeaway is from the events, because you've created that relationship. They're going to keep buying, trusting you, enrolling in your programs. So to me, there's nothing like events. I mean, there's just nothing out there.
Today we have Rita Dallas from Impact Events. She has been an event coordinator for over 15 years. Super excited to have her at the Eventpreneur podcast. We have collaborated and worked together at many different events in the past. So I'm super excited to have you here. Welcome, Rita.
I'm so excited to be here, Victor.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I know we, like I mentioned, we worked in so many different projects, different events, from corporate to in a mountain in Canada, right?
Yes.
It's been definitely an amazing, it's just been amazing knowing you, and we work together so well together. And so I'm super excited to have you here to really let us know about you and why become an event coordinator, and what was your journey, your timeline. And then we're going to give some good nuggets for entrepreneurs on how live events could really escalate and scale your business. And so from both of our event coordinating backgrounds, I feel like we're going to give a lot of value here in terms of when to start, what not to do, all the mistakes, how to save your money. So we'll start with, how did you get into events? I know it's been 15 years, and kind of what is your journey until you got here?
Yeah, we're going to age me. So I graduated college in 2004. Some of you probably weren't born then that are listening. And being in Southern California, real estate was booming before the crash. And I got hired right away with a mortgage broker, mortgage bank. And I learned about events through them because we were doing hiring events. So that was actually like my first experience with events. And I really fell in love with it. And then through that, got another corporate job at a company in 2009 and was doing corporate events, and actually had my first interaction with your ex-boss back in that day, which is crazy. Such a small world.
Shout out to her.
Yep.
You know who you are.
And so, yeah, it was just, that was kind of the trajectory. I fell in love with it. I can remember I was thinking about this question, and remember back in like 2009, printing name badges at my condo in Orange County, putting things together late at night, like things I just didn't know. And what a journey it's been. And so, yeah, I've been in it since then, corporate events till 2018. And then I started my own business.
Very nice. And throughout that journey, I know you've done so many different types of events. You've done retreats, you've done wellness retreats, kind of board meetings, being up in a mountain in Canada, right? What is your favorite one I know every event's different and we all like different things from it, but what is like the one that you actually kind of enjoy to do?
Enjoy the most? That's a great question. I do love retreats. I love retreats. I just love the immediate impact they have on people, whether it's a wellness retreat, kind of like what you're mentioning. I had the opportunity to do some wellness retreats over the years, and just seeing people kind of push boundaries that maybe they thought they couldn't get past, just change their thought process around health and wellness. But that also happens at live events too. So a lot of the psychological, we'll say, like the corporate events where we're getting around mindset and pushing through as an entrepreneur, which anyone that's listening that says entrepreneur, there's ups and downs.
Yep. It's a roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster. I have days where I'm like, why don't I just get a 9 to 5? It happens all the time. And then I remember why and push through. So I really just like events that have impact on their attendees. I just love when people see that they can push through a barrier and make a change.
Yeah, I know. I'm in the same boat as you in terms of entrepreneurship and being an event coordinator, and now having my own business as well. And how has that, what has been the difference or kind of the flow of your journey of not where you are now? Like,
Okay.
I know you started in a career, in a W-2, in events, in corporate
Yes.
events. What made you kind of go on your own and do it for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I have to give a shout out to my old boss, Kent Clothier, shouting you out, buddy. He runs a huge company. They do 6 events a year. At our peak, we were doing 17 events. I mean, every day he came in the office and said, I hope every single one of you quit and start your own business. Like I will have done my job if you all leave here entrepreneurs. And so my colleague Joe was the first one to go and leave. And I was really kind of inspired by that and watching his journey. He went a different route, kind of speaking route, but same idea,
Very nice,
speaking
yeah.
at events. And I'm like, I know I can do this. I can do it. I can do it. And that was the big push. So I gave him a ton of credit. Still friends with him today. And so he really pushed me to just want that freedom of time. There's something about sitting on a Thursday with your buddy and recording a podcast versus sitting in a cubicle.
That's very true. And something that you touch upon is about leadership. I feel like it's really hard in a W-2 to find those leaders that would tell you that, like, I want you to leave here, and I did my job. Tell me a little bit about like working with him and just like how did that become like, did he just kick you out of the door type of thing? Like you could do it, Rita.
No.
But those leaders and those bosses are like, if you have one of those, keep that person and collab with them. But what was that process for you? Was it scary?
Yes, super scary. The thing was, I made kind of like a little leap. I got recruited out, so there was a little buffer. So I got recruited out from him. I talked to him about it, and it was just an opportunity to do really huge events, 10,000 person events. So he understood I wanted to learn that and do it, and it was just a totally different space. I lasted 3 months.
Okay.
3 months. Not because of the events or anything. It was a great experience. I had gone for working from someone like Kent, he is very entrepreneur driven. Although they have a huge company, it's still a small business in the grand scheme of things, to a literal, very corporate job, and realized very quickly there was no room to voice ideas, growth, change things. It was just going to be, this is what it is. And so, it was working on an event in Washington, D.C., and quit on the plane on the way home with my executive director. I said, I'm so sorry. I'm miserable. I can't come in here every day. I'm working like 7 days a week on a salary. This is insane. I want to work for myself. I'm giving you 3 weeks notice, and you can hire my company back to finish the event in September, because we had this huge 10,000 person event. Okay. So they did. So they were my second client technically.
Yeah.
So that old job ended up hiring me back for the large event, but as my company, which was really empowering to me, because I'm like, okay, now I'm making the rules. I'm not coming to this office every day. I'm working on their project on my own terms, and that's when the switch happened, and there was no looking back.
Very nice.
And it is scary.
Yeah.
I didn't do everything that everyone says. I didn't save money, like nothing. I just literally
jumped off a cliff, type of thing. For those new event creators and new event coordinators out there, is there a piece of advice you would give them if they're, that's including myself. I currently still have a W-2.
Volunteer. I know that sounds crazy.
Volunteer, okay.
Yeah. Go find an event that you love. Go to Sales Dreamforce, come San Diego. We get huge events here at the convention center. Reach out to them, pester them, and volunteer and get noticed and do a good job. I can tell you at those large events, even some of our temp clients, or I guess temp agency guys that would come in and work, we'd end up hiring them because they were great. So I would say, if you need to get your foot in the door, first start volunteering, or just reach out and say, hey, I can just help for a couple $100 a day. Do you need on-site help?
Yep.
I always recommend that to everyone. You and I know there's always something to do in an event.
100%.
100%. No matter how well staffed you think you are, there's still room usually for someone.
Yep.
So if you're brand new, I would say that would be my piece of advice. I know it's hard to volunteer, not make money, but if you're literally brand new, that's what I would recommend doing.
Yeah. And I always talk about like being passionate on what you do, right? Because as an entrepreneur, you need to have passion in order to go over those roller coasters.
Yes.
And so over those 15 years, I'm sure you've been ups and downs, just like anyone else. But that's my advice. If you have to be passionate in order to like step into this, just like any entrepreneur, event coordinator is no different. You're still a business.
100%.
There's still up and downs,
And you use the word coordinator lightly, like you're at a director level. You need to remember that we're doing a lot. We're making sure.
I'm trying to switch it to saying event creator now.
Event creator,
just a little bit more edgy.
I agree.
But honestly, yes, we're a director.
Yeah, you are at that level, and you have coordinators that work for you to help. Yeah, so if we're getting our verbiage right.
Well, also, we'll switch gears here. I'm talking about events, and I know you and I have our own clients, and we do events all over the country, all over the world. And I really want to focus on like what's trending in events, what's coming up, what's the perspective, especially for those entrepreneurs that are wanting to do their own live event. Maybe there's someone out there that is new, and they're like, maybe should I do it? And I've seen great success in entrepreneurs wanting to do live events in order to scale their business. So, from your perspective, what's changing the most in the events landscape right now? And then, like, the demand for experiences?
Yeah, absolutely. Such a great question. In this ever changing AI world, it's
Yes.
changing so fast. Obviously, you're much younger than me. The younger generation, we see festivals, right? Sell out in 1 second, wait lists for all these 3-day festivals. These, I don't want to say kids, but the younger generation wants more experience for sure. You're, of course, going to maybe have like a lawyer's conference where you're going to want a keynote speaker and information being delivered. However, I am seeing a huge demand. This is going to maybe surprise people, but for smaller events, higher end events with more experience, a ton more collaboration. Attendees don't want to just come and be spoke at for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
They want to meet people. They want an ROI on their investment because remember, they're showing up, they're paying to be at your event. Maybe they've traveled, they pay for a hotel. So they want to walk away, like especially our coaches and content creators, they want to walk away with a brand deal or a partnership on the books.
A blueprint.
Yes.
Something that they could start implementing now.
Immediately. The other thing that's coming up a lot, which is really interesting, and you and I kind of maybe experienced this with our mountain events, we can talk about a little bit, but sustainability. The waste side of things, the event industry is horrible at that. And a lot of, hearing clients actually wanting that. How is the food waste handled at the hotel? What are we doing? Are we
you don't wanna know.
reusing, name badges, whatever it is, just trying to be a little bit more conscious because it is a heavy waste industry. And I notice a lot of the festivals are really targeting that, bringing in your own water bottles. That's huge.
Even like name badges too. I've
Yes.
seen like
Eco,
eco-friendly name badges.
making sure they can recycle it.
It does cost a little bit more, but
Yes.
just you're saving the planet.
Yeah, in the long run. Yeah. And then I would say the huge thing is just the ROI for everyone. Like I said, the ROI for the attendee, the ROI for the event host.
Yeah, someone that's another guest on this podcast said like people are taking time out of their day, their weekend to invest in what you're saying and your speakers and the experience you're giving. And you really want to give them that ROI back. And I know we're going to talk about how to do so, but creating that experience is huge. But also what is in it for them. And that's something that you need, our entrepreneurs need to really capture is how are we giving this information in a amazing experience way and for them to take it away. And once they go back to their homes, then they can start implementing and creating that ROI.
And it's 100% based on your audience. Like I said, you're going to still have your pharmaceutical trainings.
Right.
You're going to have your lawyer trainings. That's not what I'm talking about. I want to make sure I'm clear.
Yeah.
If you're someone who's trying to get your brand out or create an event that's an experience, you need to definitely offer something that's way different than just a keynote speaker after a keynote speaker after a keynote speaker. We're the TikTok generation. No one wants to hear that. That's why TED Talks took off.
Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah.
And that's why when you're doing an event, you need to take into consideration the run of show.
Whoa. Yes.
Right? Like,
so important.
How can you, yes, we need still maybe that keynote for 45 minutes. Yes, we still need that important information. But how can we have that seamless transitions in between where you could still create that experience? Maybe it is a collaborative roundtables, right?
Yeah.
How your room set
workshop.
up, workshop,
A DJ. DJs are getting really popular, even on virtual events. I have clients hiring. I'm having a lot of my clients hire because it's fun because you're still virtual is still in demand and people are doing breakout rooms in virtual, so you still get that vibe and you can connect with others. But
some
DJs.
intent networking opportunities. So doing all the little small things have really add up in your event. And honestly, people are not going to remember what we say.
No,
it's how they feel.
Yep.
What they took away. Obviously, kind of the high notes and stuff like that. But just know it's not all about the lecture and the long 8 hours. People don't want to go back to school, right?
It's also not always about the $100,000 keynote speaker. People have a lot of clients who just want that keynote speaker, and then when we survey them at the end, they're the least liked speaker. It's wild.
I have seen that.
I'm like, what a bummer. You know, the authentic person who was on stage for 15 minutes versus this keynote that we gave 60 minutes. Yeah. So it's really
it's Time is changing.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
your content, right? Your
Content.
content is important.
This is why we're here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what are clients asking for today that they weren't asking 5, 10 years ago? I know you touched on it a little bit
Yeah.
about sustainability.
Yeah, sustainability
Like,
for
what other
sure.
things?
More immersive events, like you mentioned. So I'm finding that people are creating that workshop environment. So they're wanting people to come and actually work on things and walk away. For like the real estate space, for example, my client who we do 3 events a year, his goal is that you come, you meet someone, and you do deals together when you leave. Like you are leaving there with someone. Maybe you need a private lender. Maybe you need someone helping with marketing, but that's his goal. So he really values his networking time, and it's huge at his event. Huge. People are always like, wow, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, but he wants that.
Right.
And so he keeps selling out his room because people know what they're getting when they go. Another thing, I'm noticing like wellness weaving into corporate events. So I have been working a couple corporate events where you would think like a corporate event, there's a stage, there's everyone's sitting there, but then they're taking breathing breaks, breathing exercise breaks, minute meditations, or come back in the evening and we'll do a live meditation for you here if you'd like. So I thought that was so cool.
Back in my day, working at a real estate education company, we did meditation rooms.
Oh, I love that.
And we also we had a room dedicated for like meditation, because events could go crazy, especially for like a week-long boot camp. Or like I just need a quiet space.
Yeah. No, you guys were ahead of your time.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Even in my own event back this last year in Scottsdale, one of the participants were they did sound bath.
Oh yeah, love it. Yeah.
I was
We did that
I was
at our
on the
retreat in
floor.
Arizona.
I was like,
I know you're sleeping. It feels so good.
it was so take a note in terms of entrepreneurship, like creating some sort of space and environment for those things, because it is now very important, and people are more aware about their mental health and
100%
care more about the earth. So like if you are planning, and make sure you connect that and make that be aware with your event creator of like, hey, mental health, or a space where people could go and just relax. That's a priority in my events, because honestly, it's not going to get unnoticed. It's actually going to be noticed because it's different.
Well, you have to respect introvert, extrovert personalities. It's so, and you don't have to make it mandatory. You can be, we're doing a breathing exercise. Feel free to step out if you're uncomfortable. You don't need to make it anything like that. I mean, I'm even seeing like mobile IV for wellness to keep people healthy, because a lot of people get sick. They show up to an event because they traveled and they're not used to traveling.
It really goes back to that experience.
Yeah,
like that's very unique.
Yeah,
I was at
unique.
IMEX in Las Vegas last year.
Great place to go.
Yes, for those people really wanting to connect with hotels and vendors and just software.
It's our industry event for sure.
15,000 people.
Yeah, it's huge.
I go every year, but I saw a booth. They were giving out tattoos, free tattoos.
Dang. Okay, that's a commitment.
Like,
I'll do an IV. I'm not doing a tattoo.
Like, but think about it. Like, you're creating that experience.
That's personalization, which is the next thing I was going to say is personalization. So that's like the thing that people are wanting. Maybe they show up and instead of their swag just being, here's your water bottle, it has your name on it.
Yep.
So people are loving that. That personalization.
It's that small touch and details where it's going to get you
crazy.
along. Yeah, I just saw people lining up for free tattoos. I'm like, what's going on? But you'll definitely remember where you got that tattoo and who gave it to you. So awesome. Is there any other kind of anything that I know the industry always is changing?
It's changing. Again, I'm noticing, like I said, this demand for smaller events. I feel like, I am not saying that means that big events are going away. It's just they're doing really well. Community-driven events.
Yes.
We're
after COVID, that shift changed.
Yeah, that shift changed so much. Like we're in San Diego. There's so many cool community events you can join. So I would say, community events.
High-level masterminds.
And high-level masterminds for sure.
Implement. I've seen entrepreneurs.
People don't want fluff.
Don't fluff. Yeah. I've seen entrepreneurs where like, bring your laptop. We're going to get stuff done at the event. Like, you're not going to take it home as homework.
It's like our client, Amy, that we've both worked with. She's making you call on the phone at her event to get a private lender, for example. Yeah. That's doing the deal. That's doing the work.
When we talk about ROI, that's exactly what she's doing. Like, you're getting results here.
Shout out, Amy.
Yes. Where do you see events hosts trying to cut corners, and why does this usually backfire?
Well, number one, they don't hire an event director. Hi, we're both here. Hire us anytime. They don't read the contracts. Like, that's wild.
That's a big one for me.
They just sign it.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Cutting corners. Let's see what else. Maybe food and beverage, and then it backfires. They do like a box lunch, and then everybody's mad instead of a nice
That's never a good idea. People.
lunch. Let's see. I took some notes. Staffing. Cut corners on staffing. I don't need that many people. It's fine. And then they're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like volunteer. There are tons of even colleges that I think will get credit to the kids if they come and volunteer towards.
Okay.
Yeah. So look that up. That's the thing. I know we've done that before. Or maybe another one is, they just blindly book a venue. So they've never seen it. They have no idea what the room is. They show up, the ceilings are 8 feet. They're miserable. There's no windows or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are people kind of cutting corners, I think, and not paying attention, which
another
can
big one
backfire.
is using your own AV, audiovisual. I love that we're trying to be responsible and save money, but just know audiovisual is one of the big ticket items. Yes,
Yes.
it's expensive, but if you cut corners, expect a lower
Yes.
quality.
So
events.
clarification on that, meaning you, as the coach or creator, try to run your AV versus hiring a professional AV team. So I always tell people that, to me, AV is the most important. Everyone always remembers a tech error. They always do.
Your mic went off.
Yep.
Or
it screeches.
the screens
are
off.
off. Yeah, and they just never forget that. And I think it shifts people's train of thought. So then they've lost the whole thought. I mean, it's just a nightmare. So yeah, don't cut corners on AV.
I want you to join the movement. I've created an Eventpreneur Collective school group community where like-minded entrepreneurs, coaches, experts are wanting to start and scale their next live event. Here, there's going to be live calls, there's going to be challenges, there's going to just be an amazing community of entrepreneurs that want to become eventpreneurs. So if you're one of those that are wanting to take the next step or scale your next live event, click the link below, and I'm looking forward to seeing you and be part of the movement.
And it goes back to being your event, being memorable, and have it's very seamless. For those entrepreneurs that are selling a high ticket
Yes.
offer, you don't want that black screen that went just dark to be the
No.
thing to not have someone say
Yeah.
yes to your offer.
We
whatever
work
that
with
is.
clients that are selling $100,000 offer plus, right?
Yep.
Do you think they want to walk into an event that looks like it costs $1,000 to put on? Like, no, they want to feel great and feel confident in what they're investing in with you. So AV creates that seamless flow.
And let's lean into cost of events, right?
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it's not cheap.
Nope.
Especially if you want to put a really good, event where people have the best experience, and you have maybe activations, or you
Yep.
have customization, personalizations, you have entertainment, right? It
Mm-hmm.
could get very, very costly. But just know all of those things goes into creating that experience and for someone saying yes to that offer
Yeah.
ultimately. So the ROI for you as an entrepreneur putting on your own live events is on the back end. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily through ticket sales. That's not going to break you even.
We can help you.
Yeah.
We can get sponsors. We can totally work on that upfront fee for sure and the cost of doing an event. But yeah, if your goal is to sell something, of course your ROI is on the back end.
Yeah. And that's a benefit of hiring an event director.
Yes.
Is that we know how to decrease your liability in a contract.
Yes. Don't sign a contract.
Don't sign a contract without
Ever.
someone
Yes.
reviewing it. There's a lot of liability that holds into that, and people
Yeah.
are not aware of it, like attrition, and knowing that if there's food and beverage, it's $5,000, it's plus. It's
Yes.
taxes, it's service fees of 30% or whatever that looks
They'll
like.
tack you for anything. A state, a riser, a easel. Also, there's a percentage now we just put on the room rental, even though we told you there wasn't. There's all these little sneaky language that they can cancel on you. The amount of messy contracts I've had to fix, which has been a blessing to me because I got clients out of it. But I have fixed clients' contracts, and then they've hired me because they've like, oh my gosh, I had no idea.
So that's definitely a benefit.
it's
of
a huge
hiring
benefit.
us because we
Yes.
know all those small
Yes,
things.
we do. We will
And
protect
so
you.
For I would say for an entrepreneur that's always caring about the budget, it's going to cost you more
Long run.
in the long run if
It's
you don't
so
hire
funny.
the right
I was
person.
just having this conversation with my client yesterday about cutting back on the budget, and then luckily his CFO was on with us, and she just kind of was like, "I think you're cutting these corners, and it's going to maybe save you $1,000." So it was good for him to kind of have that realization. So keeping your goal in mind. What is your goal? So you may have to spend. I have a stat on average the attendee cost. So the cost per head to putting on an event in 2025 was $169 per head.
about
Obviously,
right.
that depends on what you're doing. You know,
Right.
how much are you feeding them? What are you doing? If you did a 1 day community event, of course, it's not going to be that expensive, but we're talking maybe a 2 to 3 day event. So
Yeah, and I
it's
think
not cheap.
it's not cheap.
Mm-mm.
But one thing I talked about another guest is a lot of entrepreneurs, especially if you're a solopreneur, you fall short on marketing or you
Yeah.
fall short on advertising your offer. What live event does is combine all of those things, and because you're promoting your event, you're doing your marketing.
Mm-hmm.
You are getting people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
People only buy if they trust you. So getting them in a room where you're able to give value and offer them an opportunity to work with you, I think it's really, really huge.
Yeah.
And by bringing in people like us with our skill sets and experiences, it really elevates that for the attendee and for the entrepreneur. Believe me, entrepreneurs, you're busy. You don't want to do what we do. You don't have time for it.
Yes.
So just this is a
Outsource.
tip. Outsource.
Yes.
Just like every entrepreneur says, don't make an event an exception. Outsource that as well.
Yeah. And if your goal, I just want to just double tap one more time on that. If your goal is sales, there's nothing more effective than in-person sales. It's wild. You came from that background.
I did.
With your company, I did too. I have seen 60-person events produce $500,000 in revenue. Like more sometimes.
You don't need a big room.
You don't. And so there's just something about being in person and connection. And in this world of AI and social media, I am seeing a huge shift towards just everyone wanting going back to the basics, turning their phones off, wanting to have conversations. So I'm
Zoom
really
fatigue.
hopeful. Yeah, I'm excited actually about events. I think it's everything I've been reading. It's still a huge demand and growing in 2026.
Well, that goes into our next question. Like,
Yeah.
what trends excite you?
Okay.
And then which ones do you think are overhyped or risky?
Okay. What trends excite me? I'm excited about sustainability. Surfer girl from San Diego, can't help it. I love the turtles. Excited about sustainability, and I'm happy that people are finally paying attention to that because there is a lot of waste. I'm also really excited about the small events, big profits models I'm seeing. Just these smaller events, creating amazing experiences and getting behind brands I love and you love that we feel good about and getting them out there. I am excited about AI. I just used AI last week in Colorado. We had a great event. And what we did is we took everyone's photo with their name badge. And the reason we did that was because now the AI allows them to search on the 4,000 photos we have now, search their name, and then it
Wow.
pulls every single photo they're in.
No way, like face recognition.
Right.
And
And then in two seconds. So
Okay,
I
that's
am
cool.
excited about AI.
That's cool.
Where I get worried and where I think is like overhyped is too much technology, too much AI. So I'll have clients who are like, I spent $25,000 on my event app. No one's using it. Yeah, no, because they just want to talk to somebody else. So for functionality, yeah, have an event app. Of course, put your agenda in there, put the sponsor booths in there. That's great. But people are craving connection. Have a cool barista on site that's making espressos and have them go and get coffee at breaks. Like there's so much more you can do away from technology that's going to create that connection. So I still think too much technology is overhyped, in my opinion. Too much.
I agree. Yeah, you could definitely leverage technology in a healthy way
Mm-hmm.
at live events. And you could do that through audiovisual or lighting, sound, through music, and through also just the smaller things. You don't need to go all high tech on events.
Totally.
People just want the basics, even like an LED wall. If people are taking pictures throughout the event, like maybe those pictures go up automatically so people like have
Yeah.
that social proof. Like
Totally.
So there's so many different other ways. I agree.
And I know everyone's in different industries. Like I know the sporting events are doing like gamification. You can go to a sporting event or concerts doing like the thing you get this and everyone holds something at the same time. Like there's so much you can do that's cool, but don't take away from the human connection and the collaboration.
Love that.
Yeah.
We're going to shift here to how entrepreneurs and how like avoiding expensive mistakes
yeah.
at events. I think this topic or this section of a segment is very, very important because I definitely, out of this podcast, I do want kind of a mini master class, like
I agree.
really give some examples and really say like, hey, there are some mistakes, but by having an event director, you are able to minimize that. And we could tackle that and be proactive about it. But what's a mistake that seems small up front, but becomes incredibly more expensive in the future?
We kind of talked about this, but not looking at your contract, using in-house AV, thinking that's the more convenient route because they're there already. Don't do that. I would say understaffing, huge. not understanding your numbers. So a client will say, well, my budget's 100,000. Okay, great. So then we need to back everything. And if food is 50,000, it's 50,000 plus 35%. So that's how hotels work. So maybe we're not doing it at a hotel. We need to find a venue that's a non-hotel, and we're going to bring in private catering, whatever that is. That's a huge no-no. Not defining your event goal. A lot of people just like, I'm going to have an event, and they don't have a goal. So then they just keep trying to do the event. And I have to have this conversation a lot with clients. What is your goal?
And
That'll
it's important.
help you clear.
I love that you brought that in
Yes,
because I talked
it's
to
fairly clear.
another guest where they sometimes bring the event director at the very end.
At the very end, it happens to us all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
And it's important for them to bring us very early
Very
on.
early. Yep.
So we could see the vision as well, and we could help them maybe execute or give tips on different ways they could save or not lose money.
100%.
I think
So my number one would say is not hiring an event coordinator, event director, even if you're hiring them on a consulting basis, just to look at your contract and create a budget with you. I mean, at the very least, hire someone to do that for you.
yeah,
Bare minimum.
bare minimum. And people and entrepreneurs and someone that has not put in an event underestimates what things cost.
Yes.
And so by having an event coordinator, you're able to kind of tell them up front, like you said, a hotel food and beverage is 50,000 plus 35%.
Right. Last minute decisions. If you're going to have last minute shipping, you're going to pay way more.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you have swag being
Yes,
done,
correct.
you need more lead time and
Yes.
production time
Yes.
to not have rush fees. So all those little small things are
Add
really,
up.
really important.
Yeah.
That really adds up on the bottom line, especially for an entrepreneur that are always thinking about budgets and how to save money. The cost is not having one of us on your team to tell you this is going to happen if you don't want,
Yeah.
more money to be spent than it needs to.
Yeah.
So it's really, really important. How do poor timelines and rushed decisions impact execution and budget? Kind of
Yeah,
went through
I
that.
mean, we definitely just kind of touched that too. It's the last minute needs. So I will use a perfect example: printing. Printing is expensive. A lot of
expensive.
clients do print things still. I know in our day of sustainability, and printing is one of the most expensive things to do on site at a hotel, at a FedEx, at a hotel. Like, I kid you not, it is maybe like we're talking a 10-cent copy to a 40-cent per page. I mean, it's mind blowing. So this just happened to us as well. The last event in Colorado, we're in a mountain town, so I'm having to find a FedEx in a ski town where everything's already more expensive. And I'm looking at our amazing vendors that you and I use and how much it would have cost to print with them. I mean, we would have saved probably like $3,000.
Wow.
So printing, last minute shipping, last minute vendor changes. So if you're like down the line and all of a sudden you change last minute, you can get hit with fees. Not reading your vendor contracts. Maybe there's something in there. Not reading your hotel contracts. Yeah, for sure.
No, yeah, it's very, very important for timelines. I
Huge.
love. I mean, that's what we're in the business. We
you are the
because
best.
We
No,
love
you are my
timelines.
systems man.
We
Victor
love
rocks.
deadlines, timelines, but we're not pressuring the entrepreneur because we want to do our jobs fast or efficient.
Yeah.
It's because we want to save you money.
And we know how long things take. I think
We know the
yeah.
production timeline
Yeah.
for a t-shirt,
Yep.
especially if you order in bulk. Something more customization, like you need
Yes.
way more ahead of time.
Yeah.
And even something simple as name badges, where I submit names a week prior to the event, and that's a lot of people don't understand. It's like, I need your registration list because these need to be
Yeah.
printed. There's a
And
production time,
yes, of
shipping
course.
time.
Yeah. And depending on your budget, you can have them printed on site, but that increases your cost.
Yeah, which
So.
is a cool, unique thing to
Yes.
do. But yeah, I think that is very, very important to really stress of now that we've been in the game for more than 10 years, that we know the back end. We know how much it costs and how
Yeah.
much things take and stuff like that. So basically, to avoid all these mistakes is to hire an event director.
Hire an event director.
It will really benefit you in the long run and
Yeah.
really put you in a good position to not lose money
Yeah.
or to, not overspend on that budget. But do you have a moment or like an example that you have that you had to like go in and save an event?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a few. I can tell you, Ben, one of the first jobs I ever got as my own business owner was a client was already done with the event, ironically. So he was fighting his bill, and it was just through a friend of mine who knew I was good at events and said, hey, can you just look at his contract and see if there's anything wrong? It seems weird, though. I don't know. So I went through it, and we found out that there was 2 different listings for their food and beverage minimum, and one was 60,000 and one was 100,000. And I got them to honor the 60,000.
Okay, that's
It
40,000.
was their mistake. So that was a big win. That client then hired me to do their huge event. Unfortunately, it was in 2020. So we did it. It was like one of my last events of 2020, but it was amazing. He had a successful event after that. But yeah, so just things like that. And then I have a great story about a board retreat if we have time.
Yeah,
Maybe
please.
a minute or so. I was helping my old mentor with a big board retreat in Napa. I think we had about 50 members flying into San Francisco. We were going to stay in San Francisco for the evening, take them up on beautiful chartered buses to Napa, do all these beautiful private wine tastings, cave tours. Everyone was broken up into groups because you can only do like 10, right? Per. So I had everything. I mean, it took months to plan this. Sommelier dinners, all that stuff, right? Going to be gorgeous. This was 2017. If anyone remembers, in California. So there was huge fires in Napa. Napa was burning. And in the event world, you need to protect yourself in your contract. So there is verbiage that we put in to make sure you're protected.
Yep.
Well, Napa basically was trying to hold out on us and say, no, you can still come. You can still come. And I said, no, we cannot drive into a fire. We have to rebook our event. And this is like 48 hours before our clients are literally flying into land in San Francisco.
Wow.
So they finally canceled our contract, meaning we got 100% of our deposit back. Everything was reversed about 24 hours before my clients landed. And I had 24 hours to rebook the entire retreat in the city. It turned out to be one of the best events ever. We did all this unique experiential stuff. We rented one of the streetcars and took them all around San Francisco. We had a private sommelier come to the park and do all these wine tasting. It ended up being amazing, but we had to pivot in 24 hours. And it was wild. And we got it done. But
And someone
imagine
without
being
your
alone.
experience, not having to
Yes.
deal with all that.
yeah, it was
Calling
great.
every vendor,
Yeah, it was
negotiating
crazy.
that contract to get your deposit back.
Had to find a whole new hotel because we only had the one night in San Francisco. So I had to find a whole new hotel for the remaining. Had to figure out where to hold all their luggage. Because we had to check out of one to check in. I mean, it was crazy. So we figured it all out, though.
The level of detail of planning, right?
Yep.
This kind of goes into strategy and experience design.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned kind of renting that trolley around San
Yeah.
Francisco. That's a cool experience.
It was so fun.
You know,
Private trolley ride with just our group. It was so
that's
cool.
that's so
Yeah.
cool. I think I was in Charleston for a mastermind, and the boss or the client was just like, "Oh, we want to go to a ghost tour."
Oh, fun.
I didn't know that was a thing
Yeah.
in Charleston, and it's just like you could create those little small uniques and
So
get out
cool.
of the boardroom per se, out of
Yes.
the hotel room, and create those experiences.
Every city
elsewhere.
has something unique to offer, or wherever you're hosting an event. Like Victor and I have hosted high end endurance events, and we know like that's in itself is an experience. So just
Yeah.
being in the mountains, being outdoors. So there's so much. you can do.
You can do that's a perfect example.
Yeah,
of,
just get creative.
leveraging your venue.
Yes.
Right. Well, we'll come back to the mountain. That's the venue. Like, who doesn't want to be in Whistler in
Yeah,
Canada?
of course.
Like, that is an amazing just place to be. Amazing food. I think it was by the Fairmont. Was
Yeah,
the hotel.
Fairmont, yeah.
So like very luxury.
Swanky. Yeah.
But leverage your venue.
100%.
And leverage your city. You could
Venues
create
are
some-
catching up to this. They're
Yeah.
creating more space that's like fireside chat,
Yep.
outdoor, beautiful. They're catching on. They're upgrading their gyms. They're going with what people are demanding, basically.
100%.
Yeah.
I think in Nashville, there's a hotel that kind of brings the outside Broadway. Is it Broadway?
Yeah,
Street?
Broadway, yeah.
Kind of that bar scene inside their meeting space.
Oh, that's
So
fun.
like they built out like this cool Nashville so it's a bar. So
Streetscape.
yeah, it's in the
That's cool.
pre-function area, and people are able to rent that for networking opportunities. So
I
you
love
don't
that.
leave the hotel.
I love that.
So I agree. Really leverage
Your venue.
Your venue.
Yeah, they love you when you do that.
Yeah, my event in Scottsdale was at a wellness retreat type ish, and it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so the networking was outside,
Oh, I love that.
like between some trees with lighting. Like, definitely leverage your. My first event was in Vegas.
Yeah, so
at-
fun.
at Circa. So we all went to the rooftop,
Yeah.
lounge. It doesn't have to be kind of. It could be informal too, like just like, hey,
course.
everyone just go out and network. And,
Yeah, I think people
and stuff
enjoy
like
the
that.
informal
Yeah,
way more.
100%. But in terms of us, like, what separates a well-run event from a truly memorable one?
That's a great question too.
Because we do well-run events. That's what we do. That's what we get hired for.
We don't like to do the other ones, but it happens sometimes. No.
But what, how can we make it memorable? How can the entrepreneur or people putting on those live events make it memorable, and how can we contribute to that?
Yeah, I think it kind of just encompasses everything we've just talked about, just having a high production value, so great audiovisual support, making sure the clients feel well taken care of. Again, that time ROI, they're spending time with you, they've purchased a ticket, they've left their families, they've left their home. So what are you doing for them? Making sure they're going to walk away with something that's extremely memorable and impactful. And, you know, if you're a coach or something offering a product, that they buy your product, right? And they feel good. Trying to think what makes things not memorable and what not to do. Yeah, just be organized. They never know what's happening behind the scenes. So just front of house is what we call it. Just They never know what's happening behind the scenes. So as long as you're courteous and professional and things keep flowing, they're never going to see behind the scenes. So just keeping it professional.
And I love in this new era of creating those experiences, because at least when I first started, it was very just logistical.
I
very
know,
like
it is.
Corporate.
Yeah.
I need a screen. I need a keynote. Has that made you grow in your profession? Like,
yes.
and growing into thinking more as a creator and that strategic design element? Because it is for me, and just thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Rather than just the let's have classroom seating, keynote.
Yes.
How has that been for you?
Yeah, it's been, I'm going to, full transparency, it's been hard for me actually, because I was coming into this like 10 years before you, where it was very logistics. So I got really, really good at that. I got really good at a 3-day corporate event logistically. I would say moving into the wellness space really helped me get more creative, because I realized people could learn in other capacities. You could be sitting outside, have a sound bath after. So I have actually, it's been a learning curve for me. Okay. So I really rely heavily on my vendor partners. So I rely heavily on my AV guys a lot, because they see so much more than I do. And we collaborate together. We talk about like, let's do a round setup and the stage in the center, and let's do this. And then there's no one, the speaker gets to walk around constantly, and they're always coming up and collaborating with me. So I lean on others and collaborate, because I can't do it on my own. I can't attend every event. I try to attend other events to get ideas, but I can't. I also just keep up in groups, event groups, make sure I follow newsletters.
I was about to say that.
Collaborate
hire an
with
event
you.
director that keeps up with the trends.
Yes.
Go to IMAX, go to these different events to, we're entrepreneurs as well. And we need to stay with the skills and skill sets, new things, new tools and resources.
Totally.
And something I like, something that you just said was the collaboration between your vendors. We both have an extensive, and we even share same vendors, and we stick with those vendors for 10 years now. Like Wayne, shout out to you, right? Our printing master, just king, basically, that prints everything for us. But it's important for people to notice that if you're hiring an a director, event creator, you're also hiring their team and the people that they've worked with for many, many years. And I feel like that's very important now in terms of the relationship and the trust we have in our vendors.
We also work with fantastic sales teams. So we cannot leave out sales teams, because I'm hoping people that are listening to this podcast they're hoping to, I'm assuming some of them are looking to get their brand out and sell something. So it's really, that can make it or break it. And I've seen bad sales teams. I've had clients push for whatever they want, and I'll let it go. But lessons learned. The sales people make a huge impact as well. So having good sales partners to help you sell your product.
Yeah, that's very important, especially now going into this new age of events and kind of going back to the design portion. Yes, I'm usually the black and gray, like this is.
I know, me too.
I'm very contracts.
I know. I'm like, I want a clean state, and then I'm realizing like, okay, no, we get to get creative now, because we were just trained that way. So it's great to collaborate
awesome
with others.
Collaborate, and also just to learn new things and see what's out there, and to make the experience a lot better. Yeah, and a lot really, really cool. And kind of just shifting into those entrepreneurs, those newcomers.
Yes.
What would you say the best questions to ask when they're looking for an event director or event creator?
Oh, great. Get referrals. Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. So make sure you can talk to their clients. All my clients know someone might call them at any time. Like I don't want to prep them or anything. Check their social media out, make sure they're real or their websites or whatever they're using. I was the worst at that. I was referral based forever. Thank you. I am trying. I've just built my whole business on referrals, but I really want to branch out and meet new people. So I am trying to work on my social media and beefing up my website. So I would say definitely, yeah, that's huge. And then just ask them I kind of like your question, like what was the worst thing that ever happened and how did you handle it? At an event or what
we all have stories.
Yeah.
That could be a whole
just
nother
see
episode.
their attitude and their, are they calm? Like there's no crying at events, as I say, like just pull it together. We're not curing cancer.
It's funny that you said that. I did a holiday party for a law firm in Las Vegas this past December, and the DJ came up to me at the end like, I've never seen a calm event director.
Victor is the calmest. I'm a little higher up, which is why we love working together. Yin and yang.
But I'm like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, usually I see them like stressed and yelling and
no, because you're prepared.
Because I'm prepared.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you hire,
here's the thing: if you show up prepared, you allow for things to happen because things are going to happen. So if you show up not prepared, and things are happening, you have no room for mistakes. Which things happen.
Yep.
Someone might have a heart attack at your event. Like you have to have an emergency plan. So many things happen. So why not be 150% prepared? So when the 20% happens, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of a last question is like for those new entrepreneurs wanting to step into the world of events, what is like a positive thing that you could say that like it's going to be worth it? Because we both work with clients that in a 2-day, 1 day, they make $500,000.
We do.
Like what is that small little push or encouragement you could give them that to take that next step to create an event and work with someone like us?
Absolutely. It's 100% worth it. There's nothing that beats in person. Nothing. The experience you could create even with 5 people, if you have following and you have 5 people that sign up for your event and you create you have it at your house. I have clients that literally have it at their house and sell into their masterminds at $25,000 a person. And guess what happens? Their clients don't go anywhere.
Yep.
So you're creating a lifelong client. And I think that's what the takeaway is from the events because you've created that relationship. They're going to keep buying, trusting you, enrolling in your programs. So to me, there's nothing like events. There's just nothing out there.
And that's why we keep doing what we're doing.
Yep.
Right?
We're addicted to the chaos.
Well, I appreciate you being on the podcast.
I'm so happy. I'm so excited for you and proud of you.
Thank
so
you.
let's get the word out. Please share this with any of your friends that want to do events.
Yeah. And
or
if someone wants to
interested.
learn more about you and what you're doing, how can they get in contact with you?
Yes. So I have my Instagram, Impact Events Biz. Oh gosh, that's horrible, guys. Just impactevents.biz.
I'll
That's gonna
definitely
be best.
link it below.
Link it for me. This is how horrible I am. Yeah. He'll link it in the podcast. Sorry, guys.
Well, I appreciate you being on. I definitely would want to invite you back. And kind of the event world is always
We
changing.
should do
and
a
trending.
live podcast at an event.
Should we?
Yes.
Ooh,
Wouldn't that be so fun?
that'd be cool, actually.
In the
Let's
heat of
table
it.
this
It'd have
and-
to be at like midnight when we had time
when
down.
everyone's out, not there.
When everyone's not there. But yeah, I don't know. I think we
That's
should
a
do
good
it.
idea.
Okay.
Let's think about that.
All right.
Well, I appreciate you being here, Rita.
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thanks for having me.
And I'll see you soon.